Can we do that?
Hi guys, and welcome to this tutorial about Major Arcana cards and their love meaning. I have completed all the cards up to Justice. So Justice is a good card to get in love, even though this is not a romantic card. This is a card that speaks of boundaries. And so if you don't know what your boundaries are, then this could probably more like, maybe a bit more on the negative. You might find that in relationships people are overstepping your boundaries, and you need to find out what your boundaries are. Maybe not just in personal relationships, maybe also in relationships in general. So this also has a little bit to do with self-worth as well. But once you know that you are worthy and deserving, you can have boundaries. You don't feel like you need to prove anything. So this relationship, and if this is a relationship reading, and you get this as a final card, and so that kind of denotes the relationship, it means a relationship that really needs to have strong boundaries, so you would feel too vulnerable. And I did cast the runes as well, and the runes, I cast them on the table next to me, and they fell in the shape of a motorcycle. So that means that Justice can be a very exciting relationship, but you might feel that you don't have as much protection. So it's like driving a motorcycle versus driving a car. You know, when you're in a car, you have a lot of protection around you, but it might be more fun driving a motorcycle. You're kind of an outlaw, you know, you're a rebel when you're on a motorcycle, but the risks are higher as well to get seriously injured. So this card, you know, it can really speak of a relationship that is very different. So most relationships are cars, but your relationship is a motorcycle. So it's like this gives you thrills, but also you feel at times maybe that you don't have the safety that other people have in their relationship. Maybe you feel like it's a thin line that you have to walk in this relationship in some ways. Maybe you feel like you don't always know what the rules are as well, and that can make you feel like you're a bit on unsteady ground, and you want to be fair and square. But maybe, and especially if this becomes more on the negative, maybe you feel like the relationship is one-sided in some way. Maybe one of the parties is much stronger than the other. So whether you are the strong one or the other person is the strong one is much stronger. So then it's an imbalance, and then you feel like, you know, maybe you're being walked all over, or maybe you feel like your partner is the one that's a doormat. You know, you just feel like this person is way too easy, so you don't feel intellectually stimulated by the person, or you feel like the person you're with is constantly challenging you, and you feel like you always have to live up to this person's expectations, and that can be very draining. When it is balanced, though, it is like the motorcycle. It is like, it's fun, you have thrills, it's stimulating to you. Emotionally it's stimulating, and also intellectually it's stimulating. You know, it takes more skills to drive a motorcycle than what it does driving a car. So this is a relationship where you will get a lot more out of. So it depends on your personality a lot if this is going to be if this is a positive or a negative card. If you are someone who can handle the Justice card, if you are a bit of a thrill seeker and you do like a relationship that is a bit different, this can be the perfect relationship for you, you know. A lot of times it shows up when you have had to walk away from a lot of relationships, where you haven't been able to fall in love easily. Maybe you feel like you've never been in love. This card then shows up to remind you that you're almost there, and don't just settle in a relationship. This is about what you specifically need. So think about your long-term future, and think of your relationship as a long-time investment. If you're with someone, do you see yourself grow old with that person? Or if you don't, then you're not in the right relationship, most likely. If you're with someone who is good for now, but you don't see yourself really enjoying old age with this person, then this card can remind you to really reassess your relationship. And also just to speak of emotions, because this is a non-emotional card, but what it really speaks of is non-toxic emotions. So it's like being balanced, because toxic emotions is very easy. It's very easy to have a lot of toxic emotions. It's much harder to balance out with positive emotions and positive thinking. So justice also reminds you that you need a relationship that brings out positive emotions in you. So, and also a relationship where you feel like you have a room to grow. And even better, when you feel, it's like that hierarchy of needs. The higher up you go, the more of your needs you meet, the higher up you go, until what you really want is to be fulfilled spiritually, and you want to take full responsibility for your emotions as well. Then you're really high up on I think it's a Maslow's hierarchy of need. So this here, it speaks of when you're really at the high end. That's where they want you to aim, when you're at the higher end of the pyramid, and you really can fulfill yourself spiritually, intellectually, emotionally, creatively. That's a huge thing as well. That you get to use, your brain. You get to be with someone who is stimulating, someone who doesn't always say yes, someone who doesn't always agree with you, and that's a good thing. So this can speak of an interdependent relationship where you give each other a lot of space, but that's not always for everyone. That needs a certain amount of self-esteem and independence between each part. So you both need to be quite independent and to come together and be interdependent in this type of relationship. But of course, when it comes like that, it becomes more codependency then, and one feeling left out and hurting and wondering what happened. And when this is on the reverse, it often means that also a relationship that ends unexpectedly without no warning and no explanation, leaving one person to wonder what happened. So it's like the other person is not being honest, not telling you what's going on. And if you feel also you're in a relationship where you're unable to be honest, and you feel like you just want to leave the relationship, you don't trust the person with even giving a reason, then it can also be justice reversed. So then it has also something to do with your safety. Maybe you need to be out of a certain situation before you can be completely honest with everything that's been going on. So, but when it's on a positive and you're single, for example, it means that soon you will meet someone, most likely to meet someone that will tick all of your boxes. But if you're already in a relationship, it can mean that you need to see the person a little bit in a new light. And it means that if this relationship is going to succeed, it needs to be fair, balanced, and you both need to have a certain amount of freedom in the relationship to be your own independent person. That does not mean open relationship. It just means you have interests outside of the relationship, and you need to know that what the rules and the boundaries are, and that will make this relationship flow a lot easier. So that is the Justice Tarot. The next card I'm going to do is the Hanged Man. Bye!
Can we do that?